Welcome again to my class, my fashion class, Fashion 101. And I want to teach you this morning how to cut a simple shift dress. Now I have on my table laid out a black damask fabric folded into four. Like you can see, I folded into four parts, okay? And I laid neatly on my table. Make sure that the edges are right and equal, even at the top. So all I'm going to do now is to get the length of my dress. I want my dress length to be 40, so I will need to cut at least a 42 inches long fabric. So I'm going to measure from the top to about 42 inches, and I'm going to cut out because that is going to serve as the basis of my shift dress. So from the top to where I have 42 or even 43, depends on you. If you want it to have a big folding at the bottom, so you can go for 43, it's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to cut. I just have to make sure that my fabrics are equal. Take my scissors and cut. Okay, so I don't need that part. This is all I need for my shift dress. So right now, the first thing I'm going to do is to get my shoulder measurement. This is actually a shift dress. A shift dress most times doesn't need a zip. You could just wear and you are good to go. So I'm going to take my tape and measure the shoulder. Basically for everybody, I think we could start with a 16 shoulder, but by the time we sew in, it becomes smaller. Now your shoulder folded into two, 16 into 2 gives you an 8. So that's the mark for my shoulder where it stops. Then now I'm going to get my armhole. I'm going to measure from that top of the fabric to about 8 and 8. Then I'm going to add ½ inch seam allowance. So I'm getting an 8.5. So I could just get my ruler and draw a straight line to actually guide me in making my armhole. So I'm also going to rule from where the armhole stops outward. This is the folded side. Now to get my armhole, all I need to do is form an arc like you see there. So there I have it. That's my armhole. Now I need to get my bust. From this folded point, I'm going to get my bust. I'm using a size 12 measurement, which is a 38 inches bust. Divided by 4 actually gives me 9.5. So 9.5, I'm going to mark. It's just there. Okay. Now to get my waist measurement, I need to measure from the top of the dress to a particular point where my waist can actually be flattened. So for me, I told you in my earlier class, is to measure from the back, from your back, where you have the ball in the center of your back region. There's a ball point. If you feel your back, you're going to feel it. From that point to where your waist curves the most, your back curves the most. For me, that's actually a 16.5, 17. So I'm going to go with 17 plus ½ inch seam allowance, because when I talk about the seam allowance, you always go from the shoulder. So 16.5 plus 17, it's fine for almost every lady. But most times that measurement depends on your height. So it varies with people. But I'm going to cut this dress according to my own size and my height and my specification. So now at this point I can measure my waist. So from this point my waist is actually a 34. So divided by 2 gives me 8.5. So this is 8.5. Now from the waist part, to get my hip, I need to measure an 8. I have to measure 8 inches. Okay? Because I'm a size 12 or a size 14, you can use 8. So from size 12 upwards, you can use 8 inches difference between the waist and the hip. But if you are smaller, then you can go for a 7 inches difference. So now my hip is 43 divided by 4 is just a little under 11. So that's where my hip measurement really is. So what do I do now? All I need to do is to follow the curve. So just dot along that curve, those parts I dotted. You can use your ruler actually if you're not so sure of how straight your drawing can be. So I'm going to draw from that point from my bust to the waist, then from the waist to the hip. and there you have it. But if you notice here it's a bit sharp, so all you need to do is to make it a bit rounded. So you could actually increase the waist a little, but it's fine, just a little bit. Okay, like you can see. So now it depends on what you want. If the fabric is stretchy, at the bottom you could actually have it narrower than your hip. But if it's not a stretchy fabric, then you should make it the same measurement as your hip. Then that gives you a straight dress. So my hip, I told you, was 43, so I need to get 43 here to divide it by 4. That's a little bit lesser than 11. So there you have it. So I'm going to get my ruler again to make sure my lines are straight, and I'm going to rule up there to meet that part. So you see, that is the shape of my shift dress. Now if you want an A-line, all you need to do is to add extra inches to the bottom of your dress where we add the straight cut. So you can add about 2.5, 3 inches. It depends on how wide you want it, but 2 inches is fine for me. So if I want that, all I need to do is to make that mark and use my ruler and connect to the hip. Okay, just like that. So if I do that, I'm going to get an A-line dress. But me, I don't want an A-line dress. I want a straight shift dress because that flatters my body type. So I'm actually going to cut off the armhole now. Okay. Now I need my neckline. I need to get my neckline. So how do I get my neckline? Now there are different necklines like I taught you in my class, but for you to know neckline you want depends on the style you want to cut. So I'm going to cut actually a round neck with a small slit in front. So all I need to do is to get the width of the neckline, which is about 4 inches. You don't add anything for your neckline, no seam allowance, nothing. Then the depth, I want about 5.5. Then I'm going to make that incision to be an opening here, so that opening is going to get to about 8.5. But I need the depth of the neck to stop here first for the round neck. So the way I cut my armhole, I'm also going to do the same thing for my neckline to guide me to be able to get a proper neckline. So I'm going to also measure from that point, from one point to the other, from point A to point B, and I have a square. But I don't need a square, I actually need a round neck. So all I need to do is to form an arc. Now make sure your arc is bold enough, something like that, you know, because if it's not bold enough, you're going to have like a U-neck. If I just do this arc so tiny like this, I'll have a U-neck. But I want something that is really rounded, so my C actually comes in more like you have there. So now don't forget, I have both the front and the back, so I don't want to cut them. I don't want the neck at the front and the back to be the same size. So what do? I'm actually going to cut both using the depth of the neckline at the back. At the back, I just want 1.5 inches depth. So I'm going to mark that, follow that part, and cut off together. Then afterwards, I'm going to take off the front and make it as deep as I want. Now it's a sleeveless top dress, so I need to slant the shoulder. All I need to do is to take about 1/2 inch off the shoulder, and that's what I'm going to do. So you can still take your ruler and rule from that point, the top of the neckline, to the point where you want to take off. I'm sure you can see that. So I'm going to take that off. That way, when you have your shift dress, it's not open at the top. Okay, so this is fine. Let me cut now. I need to cut the body of my dress, but don't forget to always leave your seam allowance. So my seam allowance is going to be just 1 inch to the bottom. So I'm going to mark that so that it can actually be straight. Remember, my shift dress is a straight one, not an A-line. So I'm not cutting along the A-line at the bottom, but along the straight. So I'm just going to cut along that line. Okay, to the bottom. So that guides me. So when I'll be sewing, I'll just sew having 1 inch at the back of my mind. So now we've done that, all we need to do now is to separate both. I'll take off the back. Then I'm going to cut the front neckline as deep as I want. So this is done so that you don't make a mistake. All right, so now I'm going to cut the round neck. Fine. Then I'm just going to slit here to have my tunic neck to the point I had marked earlier. All right, so there you have it. Our shift dress has been cut. It's that easy. So you see that's what you have, a beautiful shift dress. So you can go on, cut your facing and complete your sewing. To cut your facing, join me in my next class and I will teach you how that is done. Hope you enjoy the class. Stay tuned for more videos from me. You can send me a message on ufoma@voalawears.com. I would love to hear from you.